What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video, and this one is on authenticity, which is very funny with me saying, my intro now I like to say remember to be your authentic self and love yourself. So it's interesting. We're just going into why being your authentic self is one of the most powerful things within the universe and within life and within anything you could do. And I'm gonna break that down to you right now. For me, authenticity is such a big thing, man. It's like one of the hands down best things you could do in your life or become or wake up to. Before I say all this, I know that everything in existence, at least in my own life, there are no coincidences and everything happens for a reason. So I definitely feel like if people wake up to being their authentic self much later in life, then it's meant to happen. But I want to speak on, if you can hear me, for the ones who end up figuring out sooner. You are the one who can save yourself. You can only save yourself. Nothing that you distract yourself by in this real life video game will make you be your authentic you. And for me, I actually had this conversation with my mom yesterday that's where I found a lot of spirituality troubling for me, because I was already tailored to this mindset very young, where I had my things that I still had to work out for my traumas, like not being able to really trust people and things like that. But I also was very introverted, extroverted, where I felt like I just still, even to this day, of course, the spiritual awakening that happened a long time ago, but that I never fit in these labels and these boxes and these titles. And that is one of the toughest things as being an authentic person, but is so freeing about it too, is you do not fit in the box that reality tries to put you in. And I think in essence that is what people talk about as the universe and God, and it's just be you. People say the words, oh, just be you, but they don't really embody and encapsulate all of what that truly means. To truly be you means you are going to push people away. Maybe you've heard some other YouTubers talk about this, like the gurus and the self-help gurus, but no, I really mean it, because I don't consider myself a self-help guru. I'm telling you, someone who's been through it, man. I have some of my perspectives have literally been shot down by others. Like, no, you don't think like that. Well, the majority is this. Well, guess what? An authentic person doesn't go by the majority. We go by us, and that's it. And we're connected in essence. We go by us. And when you're going to be your authentic self, you're going to push people away. And that just comes with the territory. But I'm telling you, it's the most freeing thing, because you're living life for you. And by living life for you, you're living life for others, because everyone is a reflection of you. And I say it, man, I never knew. And I made a post when I was very young on Facebook that I got joked on for, that why do we look up celebrities? I get being inspired by them, but you should feel like the celebrity in your own life. And it's very true. Like, no one can refute that. You should feel like the celebrity in your own life. I don't even like saying I'm a fan of certain artists, because certain people take that word and spin it and blow it out of proportion. It's like, I'm a fan. No. That's why words and things can be said from different dimensions. I don't even think it's about intention anymore, but you should read intent. A person's intent behind what they do or what they say is really important. But here's the thing. Intent is only a word to speak about the energy that's already there, because energy acts before someone makes an action. Like, something you're going to do in your head before you even end up doing it. Your mind is made up. That's why that is even a saying, your mind is made up. So screw reading intent. There is no even intent behind things. There's just energy. And that's why I say being your pure authentic self will be one of the most freeing things in your life, but it's going to be a difficult journey, because usually people who are completely authentic are usually solo. I mean, you hear it about like a lot of celebrities, not all of them. They usually end up being, introverted, extroverted, where it's like they come and they pop out, but behind the scenes, they really do keep a very close knit of friends, because being authentic, that's like what it's going to do to you. You are going to repel energies that are just not going to understand you. You can't be put in a box. And this is why I love the movie Divergent. Divergent does a great job of explaining it, man. It showed Triss where she wanted to act in certain ways. She was all of them, man. She was candor, amity, I think, or amity, erudite, candor, abnegation, and dauntless, the brave. She was just all the factions. You couldn't put her in a box. And that movie was showing you what you are. You can't be put in a box. You're not definable by this society. So don't try to be. Don't lock yourself in, because you're going to find a lot of stress trying to fit in. Don't fit in. And you don't need the validation of others. That's the biggest thing about being your authentic self. Is I know people on this journey of being themselves and trying to understand who they are, it can get very clouded by external things, because that's really all there is in existence. There's the internal and the external. And really, there's all that there is. That's really reality for you. But when you're on your journey, that's why I also prefaced it in the beginning. I think the distractions for certain people are meant to be obstacles in their life that they overcome, so they walk more towards who they are. But, you know, don't ever feel pressured to be anyone or be like anyone. You're good. You're already someone for being in this life. Like, there are even people that'll spin that. Just for the sake of being born and going through this human experience, you are enough, man. You should always know your worth, man. That no one can tell me that is be like entitlement or anything like that. Like, that is not. You are entitled to your life. You are entitled to you. You are entitled to the kingdom of heart, or the kingdom of heaven, which is in your heart. You are entitled to that kingdom because you came to do this human experience. There's some people that will literally twist that. And I remember I made a promise to myself while I was walking the streets of Austin, Texas, saying to myself, I was hyping myself up, because your imagination is all. And I was sitting here hearing people cheer and be proud of me not giving up and doing this, because I felt like this is my message to give to y'all. This is the value I want to provide. Because I've had them nights, man. I've had things said about me, everything. I've been called crazy, all of it. And it's like, well, you know, I'm not giving any rent to them in my head, because I'm feeling blissful. I'm feeling peaceful. I'm feeling happy. And that's all that matters. If I lose people in my life, well, what does that even mean? We don't lose anyone. I actually had a video that I recorded called Everything is Connected in Spirit. You don't lose anyone. So if they just don't want to be with you in the physical, that's fine. All the love to them, because it's all love at the end of the day. So it just doesn't matter. We're all connected. But, you know, that takes a different level of understanding. But I wanted to say it with this whole authenticity video, because it's just at the end of the day, being your authentic self is going to move people away. It's gonna have that, you know, you can't be afraid of confrontation, but there isn't really such thing as confrontation. It's like when they say, like, you know, your light be bright sometimes and it can attract moths. Well, that's what it's like. Moss, you know, moss to a flame, all that. It's gonna happen, but you just have to remember to be you and stay you in whatever you believe, and be able to say no to things, be able to turn things down. Do not be influenced by your outer reality, because the external isn't really real. It's just a projection of you. Like, I've had so many cases where I've talked to someone and gave me my perspective, but because they're dealing with me wherever they are in their perspective, they're gonna see you as they perceive you and the things you say. And it's 12, so it's time to upload. But man, I said this to someone in my life recently, where I said that a person in my life is still dealing with me from the perspective of, like, I can't take care of myself. So this is multiple times of having gotten a lot of money, buying, like, my ex-girlfriend, like, and it's like, there's the whole thing, but buying her a car, everything that I went through, right? And I said, like, look it, like, pay attention to this. People, and I read this in a book and also heard it in a video, but Mind Control 101 and Dark Psychology, that people will stay perceiving you in the way they left off with you. So my stepdad, I even said this, like, even when I came back from having my own apartment, and I had my own apartment since, I've always been in my own apartment with, like, roommates or something since I've been 18, because I have a wild story of getting kicked out. But literally, I remember going out with him one day, now that I've come back home, but we went to the store, and he told me to go into the store and, like, hey, why don't you get me, like, you know, a lottery ticket or something at the store. I said, okay, I got you, which one? And he said, wow. He said, I remember a version of you where you wouldn't do that. And I was like, yeah, I figured. And I told my mom when I had got back that I bet he still thinks I'm that same 18-year-old, 16-year-old, and I'm literally 24 now. Certain people have a psychological imprint on you where they don't ever grow up, or they don't even think you've ever changed. They still see you as this little, like, child in their mind, or wherever they left off with you. My man didn't even know all the successful things I've been doing throughout the years. And that's not even a problem of, like, communication or anything. But yeah, and what is crazy too is when they say like patterns really like repeat in your life. My real father got mad at me for that. He was like, "Oh, my kids should reach out to me," and I was like, "Bro, but you haven't been in my life." So like, I think for the parents who have offspring, it should be on the parents to reach out to their children if they want to learn what's going on in their life. The kids shouldn't have to make an effort. And for me, it wasn't ever anything personal or anything in my heart that is like, I feel like I need to reach out to my dad and learn about the other side of my culture and all this. No, I never felt that in my heart. I just kind of thought he was just a human existing and he had me. Like, that's how I really looked at it. Well, it's funny that my stepdad ended up getting mad for the same reason and saying, you don't tell me what's going on. And it really seems like dealing with big children. And that's why I say, like, you break these generational curses, man. Some people are just trapped in that psychological state, and at the end of the day, it's all love. It's all always all love. But I knew, because I told my mom ahead of time, like, I know that he still thinks I'm this, his, like, the psychological imprint. I don't even think she understood what I was saying at the time still. And that's what I said. And I knew, man, because that's just what it is to be on a different level of thinking, or a higher level of thinking, or educating yourself and going within yourself to see this. Because I can see it, man. It's like having a bird's eye view. I can see it. And I'm telling you, you see it. When you're being your authentic self, you will wake up more to realizing these things about the people around us, family members, everything, and how people, like, you imprint at a certain age in people's mind, and they will just never see you but that young person. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll never see you outside. And it's just how it is. And that's why you got to remain your authentic self. Be diligent. Stay headstrong. You're going to get everything that comes to you. Don't follow trends. Don't follow the crowd. Well, you can follow trends and stuff you want. Do what you need, need and feel like is for your journey. But I'm telling you, one day it'll hit you that, whoa, like, my happiness comes from within me. None of these external matters. Like, I need to be me, man. Like, I'm going outside of myself. And is one of the most freeing things that'll happen to you in your life. Being your authentic self will cause confrontation. People can't control you. People can't have you conform. And being your authentic self, to me, genuinely is one of the most dangerous things you could do. It just will push away what's not for you. People who just can't understand you. It's such a beautiful release. And let it go. Don't have any emotion connected to it. Like I said, to me, in my head, it's really all love. And I mean that because I can understand that everyone is in their own perspective. But, I know a lot of people are running around saying that just so freely, like, oh, yeah, it's all love. We're all connected. No, but they don't actually mean that, because then they'll get upset when somebody does something to them, So, and I've been there. And that's why I say, I'm telling you, listen, man, I got a message for y'all. This is the message. Be your authentic self regardless of what anyone does, and always remain detached and know that it's all love, because at the end of the day, they're a human going through their experience too. And that's why I never hold anything against anyone, because I understand you're just like me. You're born in a world without a manual to how to be yourself. And even the biggest thing is, like, school doesn't prepare you for the real world. And also you're going to be finding yourself in relation to the world too as well. So it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole video game. So, it's a tough game. It's a tough game. But just know you are already entitled to the kingdom of heaven, because you came from that place. You came from the infinite. You came from source. Be your authentic self, because it doesn't matter what people think about you. It doesn't matter if people think you're crazy. It doesn't matter if people can't understand you. But even I tried to tell this to a roommate long ago, that it doesn't matter that you don't understand me, but it will cause issues, because if you don't see like me, it's going to cause, it's a projection. Like, you're going to project your own things onto what you don't understand. Or a lot of people try to control or do like they'll create. It's like, a lot of people don't mean it when they say unconditional love. But when you authentically have unconditional love for yourself, you'll see the things I'm speaking about. That's why sometimes it's intuitive and productive for someone who's authentically themselves to move and leave away from the environments that don't serve them. There was actually, when I was in Austin, Texas, I love this. There was a dude who was like my supervisor, and then like my boss. My bad, I don't want to name drop. My name dropped him and went on to explain. But I loved it, man. He was telling me, I like you because I can't get people on the phone. People can't get him on the phone, and especially for this long, because we had like an hour to an hour and a half conversation to just about everything going on, and Um, yeah, because there was a lot. Because I thought like there was a whole thing. I said, damn, like that's my bad because I thought he didn't like. There was a whole bunch, but we had such a beautiful conversation. I love when it got revealed. Everything got like, man, that was such a level up. But it was a beautiful experience where he ended up telling me like it's like this thing he heard about on TikTok, or it's a quote he seen. He ended up sending it to me after, but he's a no BS person, and he's about being himself to the fullest. He said he remembers when this one person was like projecting on him, and he was like living in his car, and nobody knew that he was living in his car at the time. But he like worked 3 jobs, and he said so. It was just awesome. It was just this dude is really dope. One of the dopest people souls I've ever probably met. And he said to me, remember this, if a water bottle, and this plays on the thing I said about environment, a water bottle in one environment at a gas station can cost $3. But then when you try to buy water at an airport, a single water bottle will be worth like $15. So remember, it may not be you, it just may be the environment you're in. And you could use anything reference with a water bottle or anything else, but like how you go to buy something in one place and then another place it'll be like way more expensive. It's like it may not be your environment, and you may not be the problem. It may be just your environment, and it's also your environment's not really. When I talk about from a spiritual perspective, your environment's not necessarily your problem. It's the thing helping you overcome where you're going. Like it's a clear sign that you're going to get where you're going, because if you can survive through what you have in the environment you're in, oh, just wait till when you get to where you're meant to go. You're already there now because it's building you. You're already the person now because it's building you into the person that you need to go to that next environment. It's the very fuel. So I love that he said that to me. And this just all goes around being authentic, because maybe people in your current reality aren't going to accept the authentic you. Maybe you're going to feel like an outcast, and that's all right. Feel that and take it as your power, because it's got nothing to do with them. It's everything to do with you. You got to stay within. Let them perceive you and project on what they feel about you. Doesn't matter. No one can know you except you. So anyways, with that said, much love, Moonlight. I felt called to do that video, so that feels good. Peace out.